Hello guys and welcome back to Earl Sports Bets. I'm Timothy Earl and today I'm going to be breaking down this 10-game NBA slate. We'll go and jump into some spreads, some over-unders today, and try our hands in that as well. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel. We'll quickly look back at yesterday. Yesterday was a 2-2 day, getting wins from the Raptors and the Celtics, losses from the Suns and the Grizzlies. That's all right. We're still 153 and 132 and 53% win rate in spreads. So still over 500. So quite successful. And hopefully we have another good day today. Before we jump into it, if you guys aren't new, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Help people make some money. Help us grow the channel. And let's get into it. We get to start off with the New York Knicks taking on the Orlando Magic. Aaron Gordon is out for the Orlando Magic. Cole Anthony's out, Robinson's out, Fournier and Ennis are questionable. Other than that, everybody else should be good to go. Minus 190 for the Knicks, plus 165 for the Magic. 4.5 point spread on this one. We'll go over the over-under. It's 210. Looking at this one, for the over-unders, Knicks are 6-4 to the under the last 10 games, including 4-0 on the road their last 10 games in terms of the under, when Orlando is 5-5 in their last 10. 3-2 to the over at home, the last 5 they played at home. But for this one, I do want to be grabbing the under. I just feel like the Knicks are more of a prominent under team, and it's gonna be a little bit of more of a safer bet to go. Oh, I just clicked over. I meant under. To go under on this one for the New York Knicks Orlando game. In terms of betting the game, for this one, we have the New York Knicks winning the game by 2.4 points, so taking the Magic plus 4.5. It's only a 2.1 value, so we're not going to be necessarily betting this one. This one's going to be more of a lean, but if we're going to be leaning, it's going to be towards Orlando. Next up, we get the Houston Rockets taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. Minus 600 for the Sixers, plus 460 for the Rockets. 10.5 point spread on this one. Over-under of 228. For the over-under, I do like the over in this game. Philadelphia is 6-4 to the over the last 10 games, and they're 2-1 to the under at home their last 3 games that they played at home, because they've only played 3 out of the last 10 at home. On the other side, the Rockets are 5-5 to the over-under the last 10 games, and going after a 5-3 over on the on the road. So for this one, I am interested in going after the over for the Houston-Philly game. In terms of injuries and stuff, Joel Embiid questionable, Oladipo questionable, Wood out. Other than that, everybody else should be good. And for the betting standpoint, it's going to be one of our best bets of the day is going after the Houston Rockets plus 10.5. We have the 76ers winning this game by 3.7 points, so it's a 6.8 value. So it's going to be our second best bet of the day. But we're going after the Rockets plus 10.5 and the over 227.5 for this game. Next up, we get the Atlanta Hawks taking on the Boston Celtics. Looking at injuries for this one, Smart still out and Hunter still out, and Rondo are still out. Other than that, everybody else should be good. You can get the Celtics minus 150, plus 130 for the Hawks. 3 point spread on this one. Over-under of 224. Going over the over-under first, Boston Celtics are 6-4 to the under their last 10 games, including 3-3 at home, when Atlanta is 7-3 to the over, including a 2-1 on the road. So looking at this one, I do like the over 224 for the Atlanta Hawks and Boston Celtics game. And then looking at the spread and betting the game, we are going to be interested in the Atlanta Hawks to win this game. We have them winning by 3.2 points. So we are going after Atlanta plus 3. It's a 6.2 value, fourth best on the slate. And then I'm also going to be interested in Atlanta money line plus 130, considering that is a 3.2 value on a plus 130. Going to be taking that one all day. Next up, we get the Denver Nuggets taking on the Washington Wizards. Minus 155 for the Nuggets, plus 135 for the Wizards. 3.5 point spread on that one. Going ahead and looking at injuries real quick. Thomas Bryant and Ish are out. Will Barton and Millsap, Morris and Harris are all questionable. So definitely going to keep an eye on those throughout it. In terms of over/under, it's a 233 233 and a half over/under on this one. And looking at the over/unders from the past couple days past couple games with both teams, Denver is 6-4 to the under. So is Washington, except for on the road, Denver is 3-2 their last 5, and then Washington is 4-2 their last 5 to the over on the road at home. So going over on this one is going to be the way that we're going to be betting this one. I just feel like it's going to have a lot better of a shot. Plus, the teams have been going over more often than they've been going under with Denver on the road and Washington at home. In terms of betting this one, this is actually going to be the lowest value option of the day. We have the the Nuggets winning this game by 3.1 points. So taking Washington plus 3.5 is only a 0.4 value. Not interested in really going after that one at all. But we are interested in going the over on that game at a at 233.5. Next up, we get the Indiana Pacers taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. LeVert is still out, but he should be out for the year. D'Angelo Russell is going to be missing 4 to 6 weeks. Warren's still out, and Doug McDermott is questionable. Other than that, everybody else is good. You can get the Pacers minus 220, T-Wolves plus 190. 6-point spread on this one. Over-under of 226. Going over-under first. Indiana is 5-5 to the over/under the last 10 games, similar to Minnesota, except for when we look at home roads. Indiana is 3-2 to the under on the road, and Minnesota is 2-1 to the under at home. Therefore, I do want to be going after the under. Both teams tend to go under more than they go over. So taking that one there. In terms of betting the game, I am going to be interested in essentially passing on this one, but if we had to pick one, we're going Minnesota Timberwolves plus 6. We have the Pacers winning this game by 4.3, which creates a 1.7 value on that bet. Not really too interested in going after it. It's going to be one of the lowest bets on the day. But we definitely will be interested in going after the under. Next up, we get probably our best looking bet of the day. We get the Detroit Pistons taking on the Chicago Bulls. Minus 140 for the Bulls, plus 120 for the Pistons. 2.5 point spread on this one. 221 over under. In terms of injuries, Lauri Markkanen is still out. Porter Jr. still out. Blake Griffin is out. Other than that, everybody else should be good to go. Looking at over-unders in this one, I gotta scroll down on my page. 5-5 for both teams, their last 10 games in terms of over/under. Looking at, where is it? Detroit. I skipped over that game. Crap. Oh, I don't have an over-under for that one. I forgot to write that one down on my board. But in terms of betting the game, it's going to actually be the best bet of the day going after the Detroit Pistons. +3. We have the Pistons winning this game by 4.2 points. So it's going to create 7.2 points of value on this one with the spread. 3 points of value on the money line, so I'd like taking both of those today, and I like taking the Detroit Pistons to win this game. Next up, we get the Portland Trailblazers taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. -140 for the Pels, +120 for the Blazers. 3-point spread on this one, over-under of 236.5. CJ McCollum's still out, Yusuf Nurkic still out, Steven Adams is questionable. Other than that, everybody else is good to go. In terms of the over-under, Blazers last 10 games, 7-3 to the over. New Orleans 8-2 to the over. And going after their home road streaks, 4-1 to the over at home for New Orleans. 5-2 on the road for Portland. So for this one, 100% grabbing the over. Even though it's all the way up at 236.5, I still really like the over for this one. Both teams consistently like to hit that. It's only hitting about 118.25 points per team, so I feel like that's totally possible, and this one's probably going to be a very high-scoring game. In terms of betting this one, we do like the New Orleans Pelicans to win this game by 9.1 points, creating 6.1 points of value, tied for 5th best on the slate. A lot of good value today in terms of betting, but we are going after the New Orleans Pelicans -3 for this line. Next up, we get the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. SGA questionable. Jaren Jackson Jr. out. Trevor Ariza is still out. Other than that, everybody else is in. You can get the Grizzlies -280 +235 for the Thunder, 7-point spread on this one, 224 over under. And for this one, I am liking the over for this game. Oklahoma City 2-1. They're on the road. Their last, they've only played 3 games on the road for the last 10. 2-1 on the over on that one. 3-1 for the over on Memphis. In terms of their last 10 games for this one, Oklahoma City 5-5. Memphis 9-1 to the over. I think that continues today. And we're going to get a over game for the Oklahoma City Thunder Grizzly game. In terms of betting this one, we're going to be interested in the Oklahoma City Thunder +7. We do have the Grizzlies winning this game by 2 points. So it creates 5 points of value. It's going to be our lowest official bet for today. But we are going to be interested in Oklahoma City +7 in this game. Next up, we get the Miami Heat taking on the Golden State Warriors. Gordon Dragic out, James Wiseman still out, and then other players that have been out for the whole season are still out. -120 for the Warriors, +100 for the Heat. 1.5 point spread on this one. Over under of 226 in this one. In terms of the over-unders, Golden State has gone under their last 4-1 games at home, including 7-3 their last 10. And then Miami Heat have gone 2-2 on the road their last 10. Out of the last 10 games, even though only 4 of them were on the road, including a 6-4 under the last 10. So for this game, I'm going the under on this one, just because both teams are going under more often. And then in terms of betting this one, we are going to be going after the Miami Heat for this game, +1.5. We are even grabbing them on the money line. So we have them winning the game by 5.4 points, create 6.4 points of value. Actually, 6.9 points of value on the spread, now the second best. And then a 5.4 value on on the money line at plus 100. Always like to go ahead and get that plus money there. But we're taking the Miami Heat for this game. Last game of the day, we get the Utah Jazz taking on the Los Angeles Clippers. Jazz have been just on fire lately, which includes 9-1 over the last 10, 8-2 against the spread. So very, very solid team this year, number 1 in the league. In terms of injuries for this one, Kawhi Leonard questionable, Paul George is out. Mike Conley, questionable. Batum is out. Other than that, everybody else should be good to go. You can get the Jazz minus 170, plus 150 for the Clippers. 226.5 for the over-under. Looking at the over-under first, Utah Jazz 2-2 on the road their last 4 games in terms of over-under, including 6-4 over the last 10. For the Clippers, 3-1 for the over at home, including a 8-2 their last 10. So going over on this one is going to be the way I want to be betting this one. And then looking at the actual game itself, it's going to be going after the Utah Jazz minus 4. It's going to actually create a 6.6 value because we have the Jazz winning by 10.6 points this game. So it's going to be end up being our third best or fourth best bet on the slate. But we are liking the Utah Jazz to win this game against the Los Angeles Clippers. But that's going to do it for today's video. All of our bets are on that side, including all of our over-unders and all of our spreads. Some of the spreads might be a little bit different just because I wrote them out a little while ago and then started recording the video and they switched. But I want to thank you guys all for watching. If you guys have not followed our socials, links to those will be in the description below. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, let's make some money.